You're listening to the Health Coach Nation podcast. My name is Hailey Rowe, and I'm a business coach for online health coaches who want to attract their ideal clients, stop feeling defeated by their never-ending to-do list, balance a healthy lifestyle with their growing business, and stop overanalyzing what everybody thinks of them so that they can confidently own their message and online presence. On this podcast, we dive deep into health information you can share with your clients, business strategy tips, and more. Let's get to it. Hey everybody, hope you're having an awesome Tuesday, and I'm here for our weekly Facebook Live in the Health Coach Nation Facebook group. So if you heard that background noise, that is my cat. Drop a 1 in the comments if you have a dog, a cat that likes to interrupt you while you're working. But anyways, I do want to welcome you guys to the Health Coach Nation Facebook group if you're new here, and introduce myself if you don't know me yet. My name is Hailey Rowe. I'm a business coach for health professionals, and I help them get their marketing strategy on point, book clients they love, finally have profit in their coaching business, and keep it going. And I also work with them on their time and mindset barriers. So today we're going to talk about a question that came up from one of our members in this group, and that is, how do you increase engagement? Now, she was referring to in your Facebook group, and we're definitely going to talk about that, but I thought we'd talk about engagement all around, just some good tips to boost your engagement, because we all know that social media it's constantly people trying to grab your attention. So how do you, as a coach, stand out and get attention in general and help people with your posts and your content? And as you all know, more engagement usually means more connection with your audience, more clients, more sales, right? So the things that I'm going to share with you today are things that have really supported and helped my clients get clients from social media, and helped my own group grow from nothing to now we're at over 1,000 members, and people are making friends in this group, and people are posting their questions. It's like what I've always dreamed of. People are finally doing it. And so it took some time to get to this point, but I'm going to share with you exactly some tips that you can do to increase your engagement. And most recently, one of my clients did one post, and because it was in an engaging way, she got one referral from it, one call with someone, and one person interested in her coaching just from one post. So it definitely is safe to say that if you are improving your social media strategy and putting content out there consistently and doing it in a way that is engaging and does have call to comments and things like that, it's possible for you too. And let's just get right into the tips. So if you guys have any questions as you're watching, let me know. If you're watching the replay, put Team Replay in the comments, and let's get to the first tip. So the first thing I want to let you guys know is the purpose of social media in general is to start conversations with people. It is to plant seeds of value and allow people to get to know us and get to know them and what they need, and let that structure our future content. So before you just think, well, I need to use social media to get clients, I want to shift your goal on social media from getting clients straight away to actually changing your goal to having a return on interaction, a return of interaction. So what I mean by that is, instead of going for what's the ROI on my social media strategy, how many clients am I getting from one post, I would rather have you say, how can I get as many people as I possibly can to talk to me, to answer me, to share with me their struggles, to open up, to feel comfortable coming to me with their needing support, okay? Because that is how a relationship builds, and that is how sales builds, right? They don't, especially for coaches. We don't just, put our info page out there and somebody buys from us usually. Usually it starts with, they helped me, they listened to me, they keep showing up on my feed, etc. They keep engaging with me, and now I'm ready to buy from them, or I'm ready to connect with them. So that is what I first just want you to change the way you view social media and your goal with social media to be return of interaction. And the second tip I have when it comes to Facebook in particular. If you're really trying to boost your engagement on Facebook, here are some tips. So the first thing is you want to make sure that you keep your lives. Going live is the best type of post that you can do on Facebook. It's what gets the most traction. But that said, shorter lives do better, surprisingly. So if you can do 3 to 4 minutes lives and start there and do it frequently, that's a great strategy. If you want to do once a week longer live like this, where it's really a real training and people are able to get a lot of takeaways, that's another thing you can incorporate into your strategy, but you also want to make sure you have some shorter lives. The second thing you want to do, the second best performing, most engaging posts on Facebook are short videos. So maybe you recorded something on your phone ahead of time and it's 2 to 3 minutes and you share it to Facebook. Maybe it's a video from your Instagram stories. Maybe it's a short mini series about something. Maybe it's a case study about a client. Those are good things that will get seen more often on people's news feeds, more so than long caption written posts. The third thing that does well on Facebook are question posts with like the color background, for example. So those posts do pretty well on Facebook, and especially in Facebook groups. I have found even when I post a nice, pretty graphic, like, you know, Wellness Wednesday, and I ask a question like, what's your Wellness Wednesday thing? That doesn't perform as well. It's just doing a colored background that's kind of tacky. It's not like a real, it's what Facebook offers you is like for short posts. And ask, what's your Wellness Wednesday tip? That gets more engagement than the nicer posts. So question posts do really well. And then the fourth thing that performs, like I'm putting this in order of how things perform on Facebook, are things like memes and GIFs and like animated photos and stuff like that. The thing that doesn't do that well on Facebook are written posts. So you don't really want to do a ton of long storytelling posts. Now, it's not to say that those can't work well for you, like if that's your thing and your audience really likes that, but from what I've noticed, from what my clients have done, I've just seen that doesn't do that well. And here's the other thing about Facebook. If you have a group, make it public, because if you want to get seen by people and get on more news feeds and allow people to share your materials and share your posts and value from the group, you have to make it public. The last thing I want to talk about when it comes to getting engagement, and this has to do with all social media platforms. So we're kind of now moving into more general strategies you can use everywhere universally, and that is lots of calls to comment. So when I say lots of calls to comment, I mean simple asks, meaning drop a 1 in the comments if you agree. Yes or no, comment yes or no. Like that is what I'm talking about. Okay, so think about, are you really leveraging that throughout your videos? Are you doing that in your posts? A lot of written posts I like to say drop a heart emoji in the comments if you agree, because it's so easy. It's not me asking what's your life mission, can you tag 20 family members, things like that. That gets people off kilter. They're not going to take the time to do that. So that's something, if you're trying to boost engagement, that's something that works. The other thing is, when you are creating your content strategy, do you really have an engaging strategy for your ideal clients? Are you posting things that they've said in their own words trouble them, that they're struggling with, that they want help with? Because if not, that means that you might need to change the game, change your headlines, make them more catchy, etc., make them more aligned with what your ideal client wants and needs from you. So when thinking about your content strategy, here are a few questions you can ask yourself to make sure that it's quality content. One is, how can I make my ideal client feel understood? So often I see people who are looking for a coach who really just want someone who gets them, and someone who gets their struggle, and someone who's been through it and is a few steps ahead of them and has a structured way to deal with what they're currently struggling with. And so ask yourself, how can I make my ideal client feel understood. Where is she at right now? What's her low point? What are her thoughts in her head? If you want to be able to sell to someone, you have to be able to see things through their eyes. And you need to be able to be in their head, really. And you want them to read your posts and think, how does she know that? I just was having that thought this morning. Okay, the other question you can ask yourself to get better output with your content is, how can I surprise and delight my ideal clients this week, my audience, my social media audience this week? Because sometimes what I find happens is we need to switch it up. Things get stale. So in other words, one of the things that I've seen others do on social media to get engagement are things like giveaways and contests. So maybe they pair up with another brand and they do, if you like our stuff and you like their stuff, and you can win something. Another thing I've seen is people do a free contest of a free spot in their coaching program, and you have to comment below and say why you want to join the program and tag somebody else who fits in who would want the program too, and that's how you get entered to win the contest. And therefore you're going to get a ton of comments trickling in, people saying why they want to buy from you, which is great because now you know what your audience wants and you're able to follow up with them and pick a winner and get engagement and boost up your post. So that's another thing you could do. Another thing you could do to switch it up is polls. People like to feel included. People like to buy from people who make them feel included and and they like to feel like they helped create something. So this is a community in this Facebook group. We are all creating together. So that's something that people like to get involved in. So then the third thing I want you to ask yourself when it comes to creating more engaging, better content is, how can I make my stuff kind of addicting? Like, people really want to come back. And the two ingredients for addicting content is including something new that people don't know. So how many of you guys feel like you're doing cookie cutter stuff? You're kind of being like, drink your water as a health coach, and that's your post. Or, cucumbers are a great source of blah, blah, blah. We want to go somewhere new. We want to say, hey guys, I know that you probably are struggling right now with, back to school season. And here's a unique trick that I use with my kids to get them to eat healthier lunches. And it's something new that people maybe haven't heard all the time on their news feeds and stuff. So something new, and the other ingredient you need for an addicting piece of content is something surprising. So that's why in social media copywriting, we use catchy headlines, and we say things like, how I went from X to Y in 30 days or whatever. And so you really need to be able to take client successes, take your own successes, take something you read in the press and give your own spin on it and your own input on it, and do something that's surprising for people. Either surprising in that it has a little bit of shock value, surprising in that it's a zero to hero story like rags to riches, surprising in that it's so valuable that people are like, why is she giving this away for free? That's a great tactic to get people addicted to your content, want to open your emails and things like that. Things like that. So what I would love to know from you guys as you're thinking about this, what is something surprising you can do to really spark interest from your audience? And sometimes the other thing that works is getting vulnerable and sharing your story. So I've seen many of you guys do this and do it really well. It's just saying, I'm a human, I'm not perfect, here's been my journey, here's what's helped me, and putting that kind of storytelling out there. Stories sell, right? So that's something that's always helpful. Okay, moving on. One other question you can ask yourself is, what do your ideal clients need to hear today? So think about the times of the year, the things that they're going through right now. It's back to school season, it's fall, we have like 4 months left in the year. Think about those things and ask yourself, how can I play this up and, help my clients through this difficult time, or acknowledge that I know they're going through this right now and help them in some way. The last thing you can do to boost engagement when it comes to your content creation, before we move into some other tips, is tag, like, so if you know that somebody struggles with a certain thing because you had a conversation with them before, and you create a video or a piece of content on that topic, go ahead and tag them after in the comments and say, hey, I know we talked about this before, I just wanted to make sure you saw this, or I wanted to tag you and give you a shout out, or send it to them privately and say, I wanted to let you know I made this for you, check it out. Because when you tag people and when you follow up with people who liked and commented and is people who are checking out your stuff, they feel noticed, number one, and number two, they feel a part of the community. They know it matters. Versus if you never give them a shout out or you never follow up with people who like and comment on your stuff, they feel like, it's not that important. Like, if it speaks to me, I'll like it or whatever. But you want to let them know you really appreciate that, because in social media, that's how our posts get boosted. That's how we get seen. So if you like somebody and you want to help them out, like their stuff, comment on their stuff, and be sure to appreciate the people who do that for you, who have liked your comment and liked your stuff. And if you want to get more likes and comments on your stuff, let's think about this for a second. Go ahead and like and comment more on other people's stuff. This is the law of reciprocity, and it works in life and in business. It's a natural law of life. Usually when people do nice things for us, we want to give back. So if on Instagram you're not getting any engagement, for example, and that's a goal that you have for whatever reason, you take some time to go be social and like other people's, engage with them, and, put yourself out there, right? So keep that in mind. And now let's shift over to Instagram a little bit. So if you're watching this and this is helpful, drop a 1 in the comments. Say who you are, because I'm using Ecamm Live and I won't be able to see who's watching unless you state your name in the comments. But let's talk about Instagram. When it comes to Instagram, engagement is different, okay? Think about your Facebook group as, okay, let me back up. Think about your Instagram as a storefront. So it shows it's like a window shopping experience for your ideal clients. They're able to see a little bit about you. They're able to get the picture of your brand. They're able to understand, maybe they're able to look at like some testimonials and stuff in your highlights section. So they're able to get a little feel for you, but it's not Instagram. You're not getting that like personal with people, versus a Facebook group is like inside of the store. They're going to get to try on clothes. They're going to get to engage with your sales reps and the other customers in the store. So your Facebook group is a great place to encourage engagement and get people involved in sharing their stories and asking questions and encouraging networking, and how everybody can, it's like this ecosystem where you can really get to know people on a deeper level than compared to Instagram, if you think about it. So my suggestion would be, if you're at a point in your business where you can take on the time to have a Facebook group, it's a great thing to have. But when it comes to Instagram, here's how you can increase engagement to the best of your ability and focus on what matters most over there. So with Instagram, they like saved posts. Instagram, the algorithm, when people save your posts using that little, like, if you click on a post and you see that downward arrow or downward flag and people click it to save your post for later, Instagram says, oh, okay, people see this girl's post as helpful, valuable, so we're going to help more people see that on their news feeds. So how do you get people to save your post? That's kind of what we're going for. We're going for that return of interaction, and the return of interaction we're going for is either a comment, a like, or getting them to save our posts. So with save posts, one thing you can do is just flat out say, have a caption that's maybe some tips, and say, save this post for later, for when next time you're dining out on a budget and you need to refer back to these tips or whatever. And another thing you could do is just give a step-by-step breakdown so that they need to save it. Maybe it's a recipe that they want to save. Maybe it's a workout they really want to save because it's something they have to go back to. They're not just going to read it once and remember it all. So that's another way to encourage saving a post. You could do a really, really powerful quote that they're like, I gotta save that. I am saving that and putting it as my phone wallpaper. Another thing you could do is I already said a workout or a recipe. So those kinds of posts are savable. Ask yourself, how can I make my content more savable? Like, they are going to need to come back to this. And the other thing you want to do with Instagram to help your engagement is ask yourself if you can post a specific amount of times per week. So let's say I want to start posting on Instagram, and I know that given my busy schedule, I can only commit to about 3 times a week. 3 posts, static posts in my newsfeed a week, and that's it. So pick that and stick with it. Instagram doesn't like when you post 7 times a week, and then you go down to 3 times, and then you post 4 times a week, and then you post twice a week, and then you miss a whole week. They don't like all that inconsistency in the frequency of your posts. Doesn't matter what time. I mean, it does if you look at your insights and stuff, but Instagram itself, they like when you're consistent with the amount of times per week you pick and you stick with. The last thing about Instagram is stories are a much better way to, just like we said, Facebook groups let them into the stores. Your Instagram stories let them into getting insight about you. Videos, you talking about your behind the scenes, you going through your day. So stories are a way to make it more engaging and intimate with your ideal client. It's something I highly recommend utilizing more than static posts in your Instagram feed. Focus more on Instagram stories, like 10 a day would be great. It could be a mix of quotes, it could be some videos of you, it could be some pictures of your yoga mat, of whatever you're doing during your day. That's more important and bringing value there than constantly every day in your Instagram feed. It's still valuable to do your Instagram feed, don't get me wrong, and the more you post, the more you're obviously going to get engagement, but it's just a more personal approach as a coach to do your Instagram stories and a good use of your time. The other thing is be social, like we said. So a lot of things are out of our control on social media, and what we can control is sending welcome messages to our new followers, is responding to people's comments on our stuff, is going out and finding people we can engage with, supporting other people. So focus on what you can control and don't worry about, the algorithm is going, now you have less engagement, and oh no, the hashtags, I'm shadow banned. Here's the thing, there's not that much you can do. You can do some of the tips we talk about here, but the algorithms are always going to be changing, and you shouldn't be letting that affect your business because you're in control here, and you have the power to connect with people, reach out to people, follow up with people, keep track. Like, that's on you. So focus on what you can do for your business instead of all the things like, the algorithms, and I'm never going to post again. Don't let the algorithms talk you out of posting and doing your thing. The other thing is when it comes to selling, like if you are saying that I'm not getting any clients from social media, well, here's the thing. First of all, social media, the purpose here is to make sales easier later. The purpose is to talk to your ideal client and share with them all the things they need to know before they buy from me, meaning maybe they're not a smart health consumer right now. Maybe they need to understand that Coca-Cola is bad for them and that they do need to break that habit, and maybe they do need a coach to help them with that. So it's pre-motivating them and pre-educating them, making them smart consumers. So even like if you're a health coach and you want to make sure that your people are educated and understand the importance of taking care of their health and stuff, maybe you're the source for them to be like, hey guys, I will always let you know whatever foods are hiding stuff that I know are in your pantry, and you become like that go-to person for that topic. Or maybe you do a more general approach to educating consumers, just like how service companies, like For example, if I was a Wi-Fi company, I might have a guide like why Xfinity is better than blah, 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 or the costly mistakes of picking a crappy Wi-Fi service or whatever. And I'm educating consumers in a guide of some kind about why, they need to pick the right server and how to do that and all that. So in a coaching business, you can do the same thing by saying like the 6 costly mistakes of not investing in your health, or not making time for self-care, or whatever you need them to know before they buy from you. This is why we have social media, why we have email lists, why we have these platforms to educate people. Second thing is, make sure you're overcoming objections as you go on social media. So in other words, you need to know about what your clients, what's keeping them from taking care of their health, changing their habits, working with a coach. And the good news is, instead of selling on social media, constantly doing promo posting like, oh, my program comes out tomorrow, are you ready, blah, blah, blah. No. Your job is to actually say, I know that you feel like you don't have enough time to take care of your health, and maybe it's been stopping you from getting the help you need. Maybe it's been making you feel stupid for signing up for a gym membership, blah, blah, blah. Here's how to get around that, etc. Because when you address the elephants in the room first and these objections that they have, then they're going to feel much more comfortable buying from you later, and sales becomes easier, okay? And you want to use social media as a place to guide them to your sales process, not shove the sales process out there on your social media. I do calls with people, and I do have my email list and all that stuff, but social media, I'm not saying all the time, sign up here for my program right now in this link. It's more like, let's take this conversation further. That's what social media serves us for. It allows us to take the conversation deeper, build a relationship, make sales easier, because we've already pre-educated them, pre-qualified them, allow them to feel understood and know that we get their objections, etc. So stop getting so caught up in, I need to make sales from social media and I'm going to post and I expect myself to make sales. Instead, think of return on interaction, because that is how selling starts. That is how client building starts. And it's up to you to take it to the next level and have a sales process and know how to do that. But it's not the purpose of social media. It's not to only like 20% of your posts should be like actual, okay, here is my program, buy here. Only 20% of your posts, pretty much tops. So let's wrap it up and summarize what we talked about. And I have very exciting news. I'm doing something a little crazy. I am opening up 3 spaces for a new opportunity that I'm going to be announcing to my email list, because they get to know all the good stuff soon for this fall. So if you want to be updated about this new change, please sign up using the link in the description, and you will get an email about what's going on this fall. And at the same time, wrapping it up, let's just go over what we talked about. So set up the proper conditions with your social media. In other words, how can I surprise and delight them? How can I allow them to feel in a safe space and feel understood? How can I overcome the things that I know are keeping them from taking care of their health, investing in themselves, blah, blah, blah. Not how can I sell them on social media. That's separate. That's for a sales call. That's for a sales page. That's for your end of your email funnel. It's not at the beginning, okay? The other thing is, how can I make my content very addicting? Calls to comment, surprise them, new information, your own spin on things, talking about a hot topic right now and your take on it. The other thing is calls to comment, we already said, and that is about it. So, like I said, sign up for my email list using the link below. You'll get all the updates and the exciting news for this fall, what I'm opening up. And I look forward to hearing from you. What's one thing you're going to do to improve your engagement? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video or you like this group, please do like this video and share it or comment or do something to show return on interaction, right? Because that's the theme of today. So let's do some return of interaction, and I look forward to hearing from you. Have an awesome day, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Be sure to get your free gift over at HaileyRowe.com by joining my email list. And remember, you can always connect with me and other health coaches in the Health Coach Nation free Facebook group, where I post trainings and videos on how to take your health coaching business to the next level. Can't wait to connect with you. Have an awesome day.